Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Woman in Progress podcast. I'm your host, Coach Lexi, and I'm here with a good friend of mine, Coach Matt. He is also a online health and fitness coach as well. And I'm super excited for today's podcast because we're just going to be having a casual conversation around how we got into our own fitness journeys, both coming from a very big party background, and how we kind of navigate that today. Still trying to find that balance with like social life and fitness, relationships and fitness, all the things. So stay tuned, listen in, grab your little drinky drink and tune in. I'm super excited. Matt, do you want to go ahead and say what's up and introduce yourself?
Hey guys, how's it going? As Lexi said, my name is Matt. Me and Lexi are both fitness coaches, and I'm excited about this podcast because she's actually the reason why I got into fitness coaching. So I'm ready to go ahead and share that story.
Yes, super, super excited. So yeah, I mean, I guess we could just start off there, Matt. Like, obviously, I guess we could kind of rewind it even back before like coaching, even like what got you into your fitness journey in general and like wanting to get fit. I'm just curious because I don't even think I know specifically like where that started, maybe soccer, but I would love to hear from you. Like, what was your starting point and like what kind of triggered you to be like, I need a lifestyle change like now?
Yeah, of course. So I want to say that the first time I got into fitness, like going to the gym, was probably like in middle school. But that was more for like the physical aspect. Like I wanted to just like look good, and it was sort of like an on and off journey, just trying to learn like the basics, like as a beginner, trying to see where I can get to like by myself, just watching like videos on YouTube and stuff. But it was more physical
Mhm.
um, goals, and then after high school, that's when I started seeing like the fitness journey and my goals started like shifting towards more like mental, like more like wanting to get like discipline, and physical was always a plus, but it was just something that would help me out with like my mental health, just trying to find like a healthy habit.
Mhm.
And then I went through like a party phase for like, I want to say for like 2 years. And towards the end of that phase, I just wanted something different for myself. Instead of like all the drinking and all the partying, I was able to find that like comfort in working out. So it's something that kept me busy and something that like keeps me excited. Like I look forward to going to the gym every day. And yeah, I mean, here we are now, a fitness coach and more motivated than ever to keep going.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome, and then we help other people do the same, right? Like, create that lifestyle. And I think we all start with the desire to like look snatched or jacked or whatever it is. And then you kind of get to the point where you're like, that's a plus, we still have those goals, but it's not like the only reason I'm doing it, or else we probably would have stopped a long time ago, right? Like, okay, I look good, whatever, let me stop. It's like, no, like it's a lifestyle. It's what makes us feel good in our bodies and our minds. Um, and even like I'll hear people sometimes, my dad, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go to the gym. He's like, why? You look fine. And it's still kind of like that mental conditioning that like the
Right.
gym being healthy is solely for aesthetics and not for maybe health reasons, right? Like it's like, oh, you look fine. I'm like, I know I look fine, but I want to go to get stronger and like, build muscle, be stronger, get better. Um, so tell me a little bit more about like, what then got you into wanting to be, I mean, you mentioned a little bit earlier, but like what made you then want to what made you then want to help other people do the same for themselves? And what do you feel like you would want somebody who maybe isn't where you are yet, like, maybe they're like, "Shit, I wish I looked forward to the gym every day." Like, "Shit, like, I wish, I loved it like that," but they're trying to get to that place. what would your advice be for them?
Yeah, so just to answer the first question, I'd want to say just like living through that lifestyle of like the fast life, like partying, waiting for like, you know, the next time to go out,
Mm,
spending a lot of money on things that like don't matter. Just learning from like the mistakes that I made really wanted me really wanted for myself to get out of that and just try to find something that could help me like not only like mentally but like physically, like with discipline and just life in general. I feel like the gym helps you out because it helps so much with like discipline, and it's for me it's like the best way to start my day. When I
mhm.
go to the gym, like I feel so productive like starting that way, so it's sort of just carries on throughout the day. Like sometimes it's tough for me like on my rest days, like without going to the gym I'm like, now what?
Yeah.
So yeah, I just love the change that was made. I feel like I made like a 360. Like I'm still able to enjoy like going out, but it's not like my priority now. Like now I'm
Right.
just like working on myself. Um, and then what was the second question?
Yeah, so, well, to kinda go off that point, I think that's awesome, right? Like, it's a great way to start your day, how I love how you mentioned how it ripples into everything else into your life, it ripples into everything else in your day, because I always say, if you wanna, like, get into developing yourself, and everybody starts with like the big thing, like, what's my purpose in life, like, what am I supposed to do in this life? And it's like, just start with yourself. Like, get your shit together. Like, get better sleep, start training, start working out, start eating right, and let your vessel be the first thing that you're disciplined to. Then that'll naturally ripple into other areas in your life. My second question for you was, what would be your advice to somebody listening who's like, I want to be that disciplined person. Like, I want to be more productive, but I don't feel that way. Like, I don't feel excited to go to the gym. Like, maybe I have a lot of gym anxiety, gym intimidation. Like, I dread going. Like, I want to be that person who loves it, crushes it, and it's just like a regular part of their life. But right now, I'm like in the beginning ish stages of just like sitting in the parking lot of the gym and feeling really anxious and leaving after one workout. And I'm making progress. But what would be your advice to somebody who is in that place but wants to get to like that place of being excited?
Yeah. So first of all, I think that we've all been through that. Like you have to get through the beginning stages. There's always like you being afraid to start something new. So you might be like hesitant to do so. I think that you have to find your reason why you want to get into fitness, like what it really means to you. The physical part, as we said, is like good as like a bonus, but really find like that reason why that's going to drive you like on the days that you don't feel like going. That's what you have to
Mhm.
fall back to. So whether it's health, whether it's you're going through a tough time, you need help with like mental work, like the gym will help you out with that. And just having a strong reason why is gonna get you to actually take action. And like my advice would be to try to stop making like all the excuses in the world and
Right.
just go. Maybe do some research before going, like look at videos on YouTube on what you can do at the gym so that you're not just like showing up and then you're there and you don't have a game plan. So have a game plan before going to the gym. Look at exercises you can do. If you want to start off like slow, maybe just go to the gym and hop on the treadmill, just do cardio as you look around to sort of like see where everything's at. so that the next time you go, like you already know like where this machine is and you're not like lost. Um, you can also take advantage of when you join the gym, like they give you like that free like gym tour. Just go with
Mhm.
someone that can show you like around the gym, somebody that obviously knows the gym, so that you can come up with that game plan for the next time you're gonna go. A lot of gyms too like give like a free session of personal training. So if you want to like learn a couple of the exercises, like take advantage of that too. So just being prepared for when you go to the gym will help you out. I feel like with like that gym anxiety that you might get, and just know that at the end of the day, like everyone's there to work on themselves. Like they're not there to judge you, and most people will actually help you. So if you have questions, go up to them and just ask them. I know that like when people come up to me, I try to give them the most help as possible. Like there's never going to be a situation where like I'll just be like no. Like a lot of people want to help out, so just ask and just get started on your journey. You'll fall in love with the process. It's not something that you're gonna love right away. It's gonna be tough in the beginning, but after you start seeing progress, after you start learning, then you'll fall in love with the process and it'll become a lifestyle.
Love that. Love that. Thanks for that, Matt. There was a few things that you mentioned, like we all start somewhere, right? Like I don't know if you remember. I feel like guys start in the gym a lot earlier than girls. Like y'all are in it. Like I started with. I remember going with Danny. We do cardio and like hit workouts and whatever. That was like the thing back then. Like get toned, do hit. We were not getting toned. But being able like remembering that we all start somewhere. Something that I also say when it comes to like gym anxiety is like when you release that self judgment, you don't feel that judgment of others because it's not there. Ain't nobody thinking about you, right? But when we are thinking, oh my God, I look stupid. Oh my God, how do I do this? Oh my God, I probably look this. Oh my God, everybody's probably staring at me, right? That's all your own self talk. That's you saying that. So when you feel that judgment towards others or you quote unquote feel eyes on you in the gym, it's an illusion, it's a feeling of the judgment that you're having towards yourself. So if you can the judgment's going to be there. I remember all those thoughts, but if you can kind of like talk yourself through it mentally of like I'm here, it's all part of the journey, it's all part of the process, and take the steps that Matt said as well, and like those action steps, you will start to feel more comfortable over time. Yeah, like Matt said, it's going to be difficult at first, but what is your why? Like why are you there? It has to be deeper even than just the aesthetics, right? Like we all have aesthetic goals, we all have goals we want to reach. But what happens on the days where you don't feel like it, or your gym buddy can't go with you to the gym, or you know, you are tired, right? Like it can be so easy to be like, okay, well, maybe my glutes don't matter today, right? Or maybe my shoulders don't matter. Like I look fine type of thing. But when that aesthetic goal, when you have something deeper of like building character traits or behaviors, or you want to just become the person who's healthy and fit, and you want your family to live that lifestyle, and you want to attract a partner who lives that lifestyle, then you have to tap into that deeper why. So thanks so much for sharing that, Matt. And kind of switching gears here a little bit, I want to go back to like our party lifestyle and where we're at today. Like, obviously, I really want to make it about like, how have we found, and how are we finding a balance between drinking and socializing in that way and our fitness goals, business, even. Like, I've noticed that mental clarity, energy, is so important, and I'm almost like there's seasons in life, right? I think and so sometimes I'll have seasons where I'm like literally cold turkey, like I need my energy to be perfect as much as it can. I can't have any type of like mental distractions, but there's other seasons where there's a little bit more flexibility. So tell me and tell everybody listening, um how did you find a balance? Because I remember when I was like in that weird in between phase of wanting to be healthy and fit and still partying every weekend with my friends. And so it was like I wanted to be healthy and fit, but all my friends were partying every weekend. And like I'm not gonna say no. I wasn't there yet, right? And so then every Monday was kind of like I was kind of sluggish and unmotivated and bloated. And it takes you like 2 to 3 days to get back your energy. And then it's like you party again, right? And that has changed a lot to now. I barely party, honestly. But for those who are still kind of in that phase, like maybe they are drinking 5, 6 drinks every weekend or every other weekend, right? Um, and they're struggling with that. How do you currently find that balance?
Yeah. So I feel like for me, um, just seeing like the progress that I've been making in the gym, knowing that drinking doesn't help at all, it just like shifted my mindset and like my priorities. Like I want to say like I don't get like that urge to party as much as like when I was in the party phase. Like
Right.
here and there, I feel like it's fine to, like go have fun, just don't overdo it. Um but you don't want to be so strict on yourself where you limit yourself and you say like I'm not drinking at all, because I
Mhm.
think that that's when you crash and you go like on a bender. Like now you'll find yourself like drinking like the whole weekend instead of like just one day if you were like balancing it out. So don't be so strict on yourself. Like try to find balance. For me, I like to think like, okay, maybe like big occasions, then yes, like to celebrate like a good friend, like we'll go out for my birthday. Maybe on the holidays, like it's not even something that like I like to do that much anymore. But don't be too strict on yourself. I think that's the best tip that I can give you. Because if you are, then you're gonna crash. Like you're gonna go on that bender, and everything's gonna go downhill after that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good advice, especially the don't just like go cold turkey, especially if you know you got some events coming up and all of this. And I say this to clients as well. They're like entering a cut. They're like, I'm just not going to drink for like 3 months. I'm like, girl, let's keep it real. Like, I love the initiative, but like, let's plan it out so that way you don't feel bad about yourself when you tell yourself you're not going to drink and then you go have, a housewarming thing and they pop out the wine and you're like, fuck, I said I wasn't going to drink and now I want to drink. It's like, let's actually map this out. And I think it's like how you said priorities, right? Like, I think there's a natural shift in your priorities, especially when you make that good progress in your results, in your physique, in your strength, in your mental clarity, your gut health. It's just like you kind of just don't desire it as much. It's just like, it just makes me feel tired. Like it's like literally you respond differently to drinking. I
Yeah,
feel like for me it depends on the day. Like some days I'm just like this did nothing. I just feel tired. And other days I'm like I actually feel a little lit. So I feel like it fluctuates and I like your point to just like make it an empowered decision and wherever you're at, because everybody has different levels of drinking. Like some people drink barely, some people drink every weekend, pretty much. Some people drink every day. They have a glass of wine or beer like every day, every other day. So I would say, wherever you're at, one, nobody's telling you that you have to stop or limit. So even though we're having this conversation, it has to be something that is an inner desire for you, for your own health and fitness goals. If you're having this desire and you're feeling those side effects, if you're drinking, 5 drinks a weekend, maybe you have date night, you have 2, 3 drinks, maybe, you have a little something, something on Saturday, and it's usually something, then how can you reduce that slowly? And then also when you don't feel like drinking and then you do drink anyway, why? Right? Like, is it because of your 9 times out of 10 is because your environment, right? Like 9 times out of 10 is just because it's the thing to do or people are pressuring you or you don't feel like explaining yourself. And so in those moments, it's really just about building those personal boundaries. And I find that naturally through saying yes every single time when you want to say no will give you enough of that like contrasting experience of I don't like that way that feels. I'm going to be a little bit more like stricter with my friends or whatever next time and really like hold my ground. Um so yeah, so is there any like I don't like for me, my friends are very supportive. Like, if I don't want to drink, they're like, okay, that's fine, you know, like, oh, you know, okay, you know, whatever. But I remember like in college, it was like not a thing. Like, it was like, what the fuck? Hell nah,
Yeah.
shots, bitch. Like, it was like, no, it wasn't a thing. So, what advice would you give to somebody who's like, yeah, I wish I could say no, but like, my friends, it will literally not let me not drink, like, no matter what it is, which isn't a thing like you just have shitty boundaries. Like, let's keep it real. Like, you just give in and they know you're going to give in. But what would be your advice for somebody who like struggles to they kind of give into the pressure every single time, but they do desire to drink less? Like, how do you handle that?
So I feel like there's always going to be peer pressure at like every event, like social gathering. Um, Something that you can do is think about the environment you're going to be in beforehand, like knowing that most likely you're going to end up drinking. So maybe not even go in the first place. Like choose sometimes to go just to find that balance, but like not always go.
Mhm.
Um, think about who you're about to hang out with. Like you know your people. So if it's like a group of like supportive people that don't really drink that much, like that'll be a better environment for you to go to because you know that there'll be a better chance for you not to drink. If you know it's about to be like some crazy people that like to, you know, have fun, it's going to be hard for you to say no. So just choose the outings that you go to. But if you are in that situation, when you do say no, I feel like it has to be a firm no, not like
Oh
fun, like
no.
no, like you know, like you should know the difference between the two no's. Like give them like a firm no. Maybe have like an excuse like in the back of your head, like something you're just gonna say, like, oh, like I have to get up early tomorrow. I'm taking medicine. Usually that one helps a lot. So just have something like planned in the back of your head that you can use and just hold on to that. Usually the medicine one, like I'm taking antibiotics, I can't drink, like nobody's really gonna be like, oh, like
Fuck your
come take a shot.
antibiotics.
Yeah, like so just have something prepared. And choose the events that you go out to.
It's awesome. Yeah, very, very sound advice. Awesome, Matt. Well, the last thing I kind of wanted to ask is, um, you know, now that we're in this journey of health and, you know, fitness, and for those listening who they're like, okay, I want to make progress, I'm ready. They're consistent for X amount of time and they fall off. And it's kind of like they're always getting back, quote unquote, on track, right? I always tell my clients it's a journey, you know, like you're gonna fall off. It's gonna happen. Expect it. It's gonna happen. But and I remember being in this position as well. Like, what do you feel? What would you say are your biggest tips for staying consistent, especially in those moments where you're not motivated? Like, we all know we got to just rely on discipline, right? We just got to build discipline. We got to do what we got to do, regardless of how we feel. That shit is painful sometimes, right? Like doing something that feels uncomfortable. But what would be your advice to someone who wants to be more consistent, but they really struggle with that? It's like a basic question, but I get it all the time.
Yeah. So I want to say the first one is don't try to do too much like in the beginning, in the sense of don't tell yourself you're going to go 7 days out of the week to the gym. Like start with a more like attainable goal. Try to tell yourself like 3 days to start is more doable, more realistic. So try to get consistent first with going 3 days to the gym. And then usually what happens is you feel the need for the fourth day. Like you're so excited that you're hitting your weekly goal that now you want to add a fourth day and just have that come naturally. Like don't try to overdo it because you'll tire yourself out of it, especially if you don't hit like that 7 day goal a week. You're gonna get unmotivated. So start with the goal that you can actually hit and get consistent with it first. The next thing would probably be don't depend on someone else for you to go to the gym.
Mm,
So it's hard to find someone that has your same schedule, and you really shouldn't depend on them to go to the gym. Like it's great if they want to tag along with you,
mhm.
but if you have to go out of your way, that's just another like challenge for yourself. Like let's say you're free in the morning, but your gym buddy wants to go like late at night. Like that's just setting yourself up for you not going basically. So if somebody is able to go at your time, like have them tag along with you. But if they cancel, like just know like you are already gonna go anyways. So just try to stick to that. Um and the last thing with consistency I wanna say is try to try to find someone to help keep you accountable. It can be a partner, it can be your parents, or it can be a coach. Just somebody there that will give you that extra boost, that kick in your, you know what, to actually get you going. It's hard at times to keep yourself accountable. So just having somebody there will definitely help you out on the days where you don't feel like going. They'll help you remember your reason why, and they'll be there to support you. And if you do have a coach, they'll give you all the expertise that you need, and it'll just make the process easier for you.
Awesome. Yeah, 100% agree. Even me as a coach, like I usually make the most progress. It sounds bad, but like when I have like accountability, because it could just be so easy to, even coaches need coaches. Like
Yeah.
there's no point in your journey where you're like, oh, I don't need help anymore. Like we could all use help. And I think that is like people can admit that more, right? Um, where I'm like, yeah, I'm so focused on business and like I'm really great with hitting my macros when it comes to training consistently, training with the intensity, tracking my progressions. I'm like, I just need like that outside of accountability sometimes. But those are all great, great, great tips, Matt. And yeah, I feel like today's podcast was really, really solid. I don't think we got to go too deep into the relationship part, but I kind of do. Do you have time for like 5 minutes to kind of go into a little bit of that? Because I feel like a lot of people are in relationships or they're not. And maybe they're not like me and you are in relationships where like our partners, they are also like on a health and fitness journey. But what would be your advice to somebody who like they're changing for the better, but their partner maybe, and this has nothing to do with like our own situations, by the way. Like this is literally like for if somebody is they're trying to get better, and I've seen this with clients, right? Like they're trying to get better, but their partner is like, oh come on, like just have the pizza, or oh come on, like just skip the gym, like let's live a little, like their partner maybe isn't being supportive, but they think that they are because they have like a conditioned thing around fitness, that fitness is like boring and takes your life away, whatever, which isn't true. But what would be advice for someone in that position? Because I do see that a lot with some clients where, a lot of my clients have great supportive partners. But I do run into the few where, maybe we just feel like easily enabled by our partners sometimes. And I've experienced that for sure. If Daniel's in a bulk and I'm in a cut and he's like, let's go get this. And I'm like, I already have my meals prepared. I already hit my macros for the day. Like, this is what I'm doing. So, what would be your advice? Not even to take it deep to like maybe an unsupportive partner, but like, what would be your advice to becoming healthy and fit together and enabling each other in positive ways? Because we all know we can enable each other in maybe the other way as well. We all gotta relax sometimes, but what would be your advice for someone in that position?
So I think that you can start by looking for an activity outside the gym, maybe just something to help you guys get active. See what your partner likes to do, whether it's like soccer or I know pickleball's picking up now.
Oh
So
yeah.
something fun for you guys to do, and look at it as more as a date than like working out.
Mm.
I think that'll be a good time, and that'll be a way in for that partner to possibly start getting into the gym. Motivating your partner, telling them that you're here to support them on your journey. Um, I know that something that I did was in the beginning, like I would tell my significant other, like, all right, like if we go to the gym, like then we can go get something that she likes to eat. So just
Yeah.
starting off like that, just to get them going, and so that they can see that like the gym isn't so bad, like it's not as scary as like they think it is. Something to help motivate them, like a prize or something like at the end, I think would help out too. And just maybe talking about like your future together, wanting to be healthy together, letting them know that you really care about them and you want them to live a healthy lifestyle. Maybe you guys are thinking about having kids down the line, like you want to be a good influence on your kids. So just keeping that in mind too. I think those three things could possibly help with trying to get your partner to, start getting on their fitness journey with you too. And in my experience, I really love seeing my partner like go to the gym and like learning and progressing, and going to the gym together, like it feels like so great. Like you guys are both bettering yourselves in a good way, in a positive way, and you get to spend time together too. So I just think it's a plus. So
Right.
yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah, Matt, I think that's great advice. Great advice for sure. Yeah, same with me and Daniel. Like, sometimes I'm like, come on, baby, let's go on a walk. Let's go on a walk. Let's get some sunshine. He'll be like, okay. I'm like, we'll go. And he's like, I'm like, I always remind him, like, I promise you're going to feel so much better. Like, let's go on a walk. Let's go get our green juices. And like, he's like, okay. And then we go and he's like, wow, I feel so much better. I'm like,
yeah,
see, you feel so much better. Because he'll be like, oh, I'm tired. I just want to chill on the couch and be on my phone. I'm like, I promise you, baby, if we go on this walk right now, you're going to feel that energy boost. Like, I promise you, you're going to feel this, you're going to feel that. And I kind of like sell him on the walk and he'll be like, okay. And then he's like, wow, I feel so much better. I'm like, see? So I think that's awesome. Like motivating your partner, not shaming them into it. I see some people
yeah,
do that where they're like you're, just like kind of shaming them into that and it's like shaming people into it is going to make them hate it more
yeah,
and going to make them be away from it more. So you want to make it a fun part of like what your partner are doing. And hey, if they don't catch on, if they don't even want to go on the walk, they don't even want to do that, they're going to see your results, they're going to see how you're progressing, and eventually they're going to either get inspired or, maybe it just ain't a good fit. Who knows? No, I'm kidding. But thanks so much for your time, Matt. Today's podcast was awesome. Can you just let everybody know where they can find you and connect with you on Instagram or any other platform?
yeah. So right now I'm just mainly on Instagram. So my Instagram is MattxTorres. So that's MattxTorres.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. And is there anything else that you wanted to share before we kind of wrap up for today?
Um, I think we covered a lot. I'm really excited about coming on here and just giving you an update on everything. It was really fun, and who knows?
Awesome.
Hopefully, in the future, we can get another one going.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Definitely do like a recap. But awesome. Thank you for everybody listening. Make sure to leave a review, rate, share if you got value from this episode. Make sure to follow Matt, hit him up, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.